everyone. How are you doing? I hope your week is going well. I wanted to pick a topic today to share with you that I find actually really fun and interesting. I received a message from our anonymous forum, so thank you, of a parent who's having an issue with their app store and the selections that they're receiving in it and how to kind of handle the problem so their kids aren't getting the wrong apps in their hands. So I thought I'd take today to talk to you guys a little bit about some tech stuff, things you probably already know, but just as a refresher, I want to go over algorithms and machine learning and why this parent is getting these selections in her inbox. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share screen so you can see an example of what I'm talking about. And also you can see where you can better understand how those selections are being made and a couple tips of what you could do to try to influence them or change them. So I'm going to share my screen now. The first thing I'm going to show you is what the user saw. Okay, so this is coming out of the United States, and this is what their phone is receiving within the App Store, right? So this is the where you can actually choose under Arcade, and they give you your daily list, right? They give you your recommendations and preferences, and you'll see that the topic here, or the selection, is pretty interesting, right? It's all leaning towards dating, Tinder. Even some parents were worried that some of these apps could be verging on soft porn. Now, I'm no expert in these apps. I can't tell you that. That's a later conversation and to come soon. But for right now, what I can tell you is an overview of what I'm seeing, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is that this parent is not happy with the selection, and she does not want her child to be able to potentially choose the selection because their child's using an iPad. They're using family sharing. And so this selection of app choice is also showing up on the iPad when their kid is on there playing. And so she's worried that they're going to stumble upon something that she's not ready to have that discussion with, or is just inappropriate, right? And I understand that. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Why is this happening? So there's a couple of reasons why this list is actually appearing in her app store. And so I want to show another screen for you. So I'm just going to switch really quick. Here we go. Okay, so when you go into your settings of your iPhone in the iTunes store and the App Store, what you're going to see is a recommendations page, and the recommendations page talks to you about what kind of data the Apple is actually collecting in order to feed you those recommendations, right? So it chose the most particular things that are pertinent to you and how you use your phone. What apps you've purchased and games, the subscriptions you've got, any pre-orders, ratings and reviews that you maybe have left. But look at the additional information, right? So App Store browsing history, app updates, App Store searches, payment methods, and in-app purchases. All of this goes to collect data on you. It goes to collect data on your preferences, right? And then to serve up recommendations for you. So this data is essentially using an algorithm, right? And then it's applying essentially machine learning, right? So learning that can happen automatically to give you a box, essentially. You've been put into a box, and that box is going to dictate what they think you like and you don't like. It's all an effort to get you to then find another app that you think is great and to make that purchase. Free or not, it's still considered a purchase, right? That's why even free apps are considered a purchase, actually, because then they can put it under that bucket and it can be sorted easier for information. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at her list again. So her list was all about, I don't know, there was one thing in here. Let me show it to you again, just so you're on the same page with me. Sorry for the toggling back and forth. I'm sure I could have done this in a better way if I'd pre-planned, but I really wanted to cover this. So The Sims, okay, sure. I'm not sure what Florence is, but look, it says it's a story about love and life. And these are recommendations, right? I think they said like the recommendation is literally called like the love list or something like that. It's coming in this app store. I say something like that because I can't replicate it on mine unless I log out of the Canadian App Store, go into the United States App Store, and then I still wouldn't get the same solutions and the same results simply because I don't have the same search patterns. So look at this, chapters of make your own choices, but they all seem to be love stories, right? Almost like romance novels in app form. Dream daddy, hot date. So somebody in the house of this parent has been searching for these applications. Now, they maybe haven't been looking for these particular apps, but what they're doing is they're using certain keywords that is triggering that search, right? So maybe they're looking up dating, maybe they're looking up boyfriends, maybe they're looking up something that's tangential, but it's close enough that it's getting that to pop up as a result. So a lot of what can happen is that it's now, oh, it's picking up the algorithm, right? The AI is picking up, oh, this is a great preference. These people, this family, this sharing thinks this is great. So we're going to keep feeding it to them so that they make a purchase. So because it's a family share, and if you don't have certain parameters put in place, the algorithm is a machine. It doesn't know who's searching within that family for that. It could be the mom for all it knows. Especially if you're sharing all one login, it definitely has no clue the difference between your 9-year-old on an iPad and you on your iPhone. So someone in this parent's house has been searching with those terms. So now it's up to the parent to do 2 things. I would recommend 1, having that conversation with their children. So sit down and talk to them. It's time to have a little bit of the birds and the bees talk, maybe not getting into everything. It's really going to be up to you, but at least start talking about relationships, right? And explaining what is they're searching and what do they have questions of, right? And start having those more teenage influenced conversations, because clearly there's some curiosity going. And it's more than okay to start having those conversations and to use this platform as a tool to get to that awkward conversation, because I understand it's awkward for most parents and nobody wants to have that one. It's got to be done, especially if you have an older child. You've already done it, so now at least you can do it again and maybe do it better. So you blame it on the app, right? Blame it on the tool and start talking. Number 2, if you don't want to have applications like that showing up in your search in a different way. So my best way to recommend to get any sort of information out there is to do 2 things. Clear your cache out, clear out your search history and your browsing data. Make sure that you've got a clean slate, even though we all know data is still captured and still sent over to Apple. If you've gone ahead and checked those boxes off, what you can do is search in a different way. I mean, start really searching in a different way. Take a week out and search for cooking apps. Search for productivity apps. Search for games that you think might be appropriate for your child, right? Maybe Roblox. It's a great one. Or how about having, I don't know, Animal Crossing. Search for things that are going to be more in line to what you're looking for your child to be experiencing and to playing with and to interact with. The algorithm's going to start changing. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to start changing, and you will start to have a different home screen showing up in the arcade, in the iPhone and App Store. So I hope that helped. It's just a couple quick tips. I really wanted to cover it though, because I could feel the stress coming from the parent, and I totally understand. But it's nothing you did, but it is something potentially that your whole family did, right? Because remember, search is all about targeting, retargeting, and feeding you preferences so you're enjoying the experience more. It's actually to help you, well, it's to help sell, and it's also to help you get a more pleasurable experience. So then, of course, you interact with the applications more, you interact with the interface more. So make sure you clear your cache, clear your browsing, have that conversation with your child, and start playing a game by tricking the app, tricking the algorithm itself, so it starts feeding back search in a different way. Any questions? I'm more than happy to answer. Also, this group is filled with a lot of experts. There are so many parenting experts here, and there are so many tech experts, digital experts, developers, right? please jump on in, have that conversation, and chime in, because I would love to hear your opinion. And I'd love it if you have some more tips about how to solve this problem for a collection or collective group. Okay, that's all I got for you. I want you to have the wonderful rest of the week, a wonderful weekend, and enjoy your summer. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.